Bruin News Now is made possible by the generous support of C-Spire, Diatech, Mid-South Elevator, Mississippi Premier Plastic Surgery, and these fine sponsors. The state legislature is in session. President Pro Tem Dean Kirby says the Capitol is safe. I'm Jack Clements and I'll have more in news.
Bruin basketball has advanced to district play. I'm Josh Briscoe and I'll have more in sports.
I'm Turner Brown. Winter is here. You can expect a cold weekend. Weather, sports, and all the news are next. Bruin News Now for Friday, January 15th, 2021 begins right now.
From the BNN headquarters on the campus of St. Joseph Catholic School in Madison, this is Mississippi's high school news leader, the award-winning weekly newscast, Bruin News Now. Happy Friday, St. Joe. I'm Jack Clements.
And I'm Emerson Irwin. Welcome to our first edition of Bruin News Now for 2021 and the second semester. It's been a cold week with winter weather on Monday, but we are glad to be back after our 2-week Christmas break.
Well, we've begun the second semester at St. Joe, a few miles south at the Mississippi State Capitol in downtown Jackson. The Mississippi State Legislature is wrapping up its second week of their 2021 annual session. The session is slated to run until April.
And just like St. Joe, the legislature and state government continues to deal with the coronavirus pandemic and the COVID-19 disease it causes. In fact, access to the state capitol is limited to stem the spread of this deadly disease. And security at the capitol has been beefed up to keep everyone safe.
Those are just several things people will notice at the state capitol. I spent some time there this week talking with state leaders, including Senator Dean Kirby, President Pro Tem of the Senate and second in command behind Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann. Senator Kirby says that lawmakers are ready for the challenge of the 2021 legislative session.
When I became the Pro Tem last year, Jack, one of the first things I want to do is make this a safer environment.
Since Kirby became President Pro Tem, and in lieu of the riots at the U.S. Capitol in D.C., security as well as police presence at the state capitol have been heavily increased.
January a year ago, when I got elected Pro Tem, believe it or not, we didn't have cameras, so I started working on that immediately.
All of these changes were being implemented at about the same time another big change was coming to the state.
After we had our flag vote last year, at that point, that night that we passed it, someone stole all of the Mississippi flags in the halls. I said then, now you guys see what I'm talking about, and this is why we need cameras.
In addition to the increased security at the Capitol and the new COVID-19 protocols put in place, as Senator Dean Kirby mentioned, another big change is coming to Mississippi at the start of this legislative session. On Wednesday, the new state flag was raised at the Capitol for the first time, and the ceremony was held on the South Steps. Reporters, lawmakers, and citizens of Mississippi gathered on the steps and weathered freezing cold temperatures to witness the historic event.
Well, we're starting a new chapter in the history of our state, and it's a blank page, and it's very exciting that we have an opportunity to put forward a new image for our state. 2
flags were raised Wednesday. One flag was raised only ceremoniously, then doused to be interned in a museum. The other was raised as a permanent symbol of progress in the great state of Mississippi, and many, like Speaker Gunn, believe that things are starting to change for the better.
And it's a new day for Mississippi.
You can hear more of my interview with Senator Dean Kirby in our inaugural edition of Bruin News Now Overtime, a new periodic news show in which we will feature in-depth interviews with key newsmakers. BNN Overtime will premiere on the BNN YouTube channel at 6 p.m. on Sunday.
Meanwhile, back on the St. Joe campus, volunteers led by Ms. Tricia Harris, the school's development director, are hard at work putting final touches on this year's version of the Jeans, Jazz, and Bruin Blues $10,000 drawdown.
The COVID-19 pandemic forced St. Joe to make this year's event virtual. The drawdown will be streamed live into your home Saturday night, January 30th, 2021, right here on the Bruin News Now channel on YouTube.
Many of the popular features of Drawdown will still take place this year, including raffles of themed gift baskets and the popular live auction. Tickets for St. Joe's biggest fundraiser are still available at $130 each, giving you a chance at the grand prize of $10,000 in cash. You can buy tickets online at www.stjoedrawdown.com.
One very important message is Bruin Bucks. Bruin Bucks are raffle ticket boxes. Everyone can buy Bruin Bucks online. You have the option to choose which package you want it to go in online. We will have descriptions out there and pictures by the weekend, but the tickets are available now to purchase. One of the items that I just got is a Apple MacBook, so that's going to be in the Bruin Bucks packages. So make sure you're watching for that information to come out to you. And the boxes will be available the week of Drawdown, the 25th, for anyone to come and purchase tickets. Students can purchase tickets for parents. So make sure you're watching your emails and text messages for that information.
Auditions for the annual spring musical, the Tony Award-winning production of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, took place after school Tuesday, with callbacks Wednesday and Thursday. Be on the lookout for the cast list.
Driver's education classes will begin Monday, February 15th at St. Joe. Anyone interested in taking the class should turn in their registration form before classes start. This year the class will be virtual, again due to the coronavirus pandemic. The driving portion in the summer, however, will not be virtual.
St. Joseph Catholic School will be closed and classes will not meet on Monday, January 18th for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day honoring the slain civil rights leader. This is the first of 2 holidays for the third quarter. The other will be Monday, February 15th, President's Day.
St. Joe has a new company providing lunch this semester. Your personal chef took over lunch duty last week, and so far, students have given it a thumbs up. Lunches cost $5 each, and students must pay for them a week in advance. Student can choose from 2 possibilities, a hot lunch or a sandwich.
So I think the new lunch system is pretty great. The food tastes really good, and I like the lower prices, and I think there are still a few things that need to be worked out, but other than that, I think overall it's pretty good.
Coming up, Turner Brown has a cold weekend weather outlook.
And Josh Briscoe has the latest in Bruin sports. Weather and sports are next.
Hey Bruins, I'm Turner Brown, and this is your weekend weather forecast. If you plan to attend tonight's soccer game at Pearl, expect the temperatures to fall to 34 degrees. So have your jacket or coat handy. For the rest of today, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 54. On Saturday, expect more sunny skies with a low around 30 and the high around 50. Sunday will be partly cloudy with highs in the low 50s and a low of 30 as well. That's your weekend weather forecast. I'm Turner Brown. Stay warm, folks.
Howdy Bruin fans, I'm Josh Briscoe and this is the Bruin News Now Sports Report. Leading off sports news this week is Bruin basketball. The Bruin boys basketball team has started strong in district play with the win against South Delta last week. However, they took a tough loss to Pisgah on Friday. On Tuesday, they bounced back with the win at home against Sebastopol. The Bruins return to district play tonight on the road at Pelahatchie. The Bruins enter tonight's game with a 10-4 record and 1-1 record in district play. Coach Howell and the boys hope to get on a roll and finish the season with some strong wins. Stay focused. This phrase is something most coaches preach, but for Bruin basketball coach Michael Howell, it's more than just a phrase. He preaches it, and it shows. The boys have been having a solid season and hope to continue the success in district play.
We had a strong start to district play. Coach Howell's been keeping us focused, pushing us hard in the gym. We had a good win against South Delta, and we play Pelahatchie today, so hopefully you guys can tune in.
It has shown that he has engraved this phrase in his players through seniors like Hudson Sandifer and Caleb Wilson, who have been playing under Michael Howell since they were freshmen. Sandifer is averaging 15 points per game and Wilson is averaging 17. They are going to have to keep this up for the Bruins to have success to finish the season.
Ever since Coach Howells came to St. Joe, he's instilled a great passion for basketball and always helped us stay focused. We watch film every day, practice every day, have to be on time. We have a very strict program, but it's helping us a lot during district. We had a strong start. We went out and beat South Delta. Hopefully we can continue that and keep getting better.
Coach Howell has instilled in me to be focused, take it one day at a time, not only on the basketball court, but also in real life as well, and he basically he teaches not only me, but all of us how, If we want something in life, we got to go get it and stay focused.
This is a different season from last year, and there are different challenges. But Coach Howell has a game plan that will overcome these challenges and give a different outcome from last season.
At this point in the year, we're trying to get a few other guys to come on and contribute and give us some stuff that we're looking for. Feel good about where we're at. Last year, about this time, had a few guys get injured, and it kind of hurt us down the stretch of district play. But so far we've been healthy and just trying to keep the guys healthy and make sure that we avoid the COVID bug and you know, be ready for the last few district games of the year and the district tournament to get a good seed going into the playoffs and make a deep run this year.
The Bruin girls basketball team is also off to a strong start with a 2-0 record in district play with wins against South Delta and Pisgah. They plan to stay healthy and finish strong in district play. Next up on their schedule, a road game tonight at Pelahatchie.
Our season started out pretty rocky this year, but we turned it around, going 2-0 in district, hoping to pull off a win tonight against Pelahatchie, making that 3-0.
Coach Groves, our new coach this year, has done a lot to help us and uses everyone's strengths, and we plan on making it all the way to the championship.
In Bruin soccer, the boys and girls teams are coming off wins last Friday against Philadelphia. The girls won 13-0 and the boys 2-1. The girls only have 3 losses on the year, 2 from powerhouses Brandon and Northwest Rankin, and 1 from arch rival St. Andrews.
By preparing, we have a lot of practices that we've been doing. We do a lot of possession drills that we do, a lot of conditioning. We do a couple shooting drills because that's one of the main things we need to work on.
Springtime means spring sports. Baseball and softball are getting ready to officially begin practice this month, followed by their season openers in February. Another spring sports, Bruin tennis, is scheduled to also start practice next month. Coach Melissa Hall and the Bruins tennis players expect a strong season.
We start practices on Monday, and I'm so excited. It's going to be a really fun season. I think we're going to be really successful, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, that's all for this week's edition of the Bruin News Now Sports Report. I'm Josh Briscoe, and go Bruins.
Thanks, Josh and Turner. Earlier in the newscast, I talked a bit about how the coronavirus pandemic has changed how the 2021 legislature will operate this year. The pandemic has also changed everyone's lives, including life at St. Joe.
Changes started here last fall, daily temperature checks, no use of lockers, and other things. Well, this semester is pretty much the same as the school tries to help control the spread of COVID-19.
As a matter of fact, we currently have 7 active student cases and 19 in quarantine this week. BNN's own Carrington Fowler has the latest in school precautions in this report.
2021 has officially arrived, and with the new year comes the second semester. St. Joe has updated the school-wide COVID-19 procedures to ensure a safe second half of the school year.
The CDC updated their guidelines, and so people who are not positive for COVID only have to quarantine 7 to 10 days instead of the previous 14 days, but we're maintaining all the same protocols that we had before.
Students who are quarantined are still expected to attend classes through Zoom per the instruction of their teachers. Virtual assignments can be found on the LMS website under their respective classes. Hopefully, we will see a full return to on-campus learning soon, as teachers and staff will receive the COVID-19 vaccination in the coming months. Unfortunately, middle school and high school students will most likely have to wait until next school year to be vaccinated.
I wish it was being distributed sooner in a more efficient manner, but I'm thankful that we have a vaccine now that will hopefully be distributed in a more efficient fashion in the next 3 to 6 months.
As always, be sure to follow basic COVID-19 safety guidelines. Reporting for BNN, I'm Carrington Fowler.
Thanks, Carrington. It is so important to keep safe and not let your guard down. This thing isn't over until a good number of people worldwide get vaccinated.
A couple of things before we go. Remember to catch the inaugural edition of our new periodic interview show, Bruin News Now Overtime, premiering right here at 6 p.m. Sunday on the BNN YouTube channel. Our first guest will be Mississippi State Senate President Pro Tem Dean Kirby.
Finally, last Friday saw parents receive their child's report card for the first semester. Today's Progress Report Day, meaning parents will receive an email with a link to a progress report covering their child's grades for the first 2 weeks of the third quarter.
That's it for this week's edition of Bruin News Now. Remember to push that subscribe button to the BNN channel on YouTube, where you will find this and an archive of every episode of the award-winning student-produced high school newscast since 2015.
So join us back here again next week for another edition of Bruin News Now. I'm Emerson Irwin.
And I'm Jack Clements. From all of us here at Bruin News Now, have a great weekend and so long, everybody.